Hey, welcome to my podcast. I'm Manina, and you are listening to an episode of Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger podcast. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger podcast. Today I have a very special guest to me, Daniel Hankinson, and he is a financial professional. I'm just gonna explain what that means because I just know how to count. 1, 2, 3. So, D, thank you for coming to my podcast. I really appreciate you coming.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here with Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger, right?
You feel me?
Yeah, I love it. I'm loving the sweatshirt, right?
Thank you.
So you said you were a financial representative or analyst or register representative. We have many titles here in finance, but basically our goals are to help people to attain wealth, become financially stable, and eventually obtain financial freedom. And along the way, we want to protect people's families and just help people to grow financially in every way. And it starts with the mentality. Starting off with a plan, they have to have that mentality of, I want to achieve certain goals. We're going to stick to this plan, and we're going to achieve them.
So how did you get into finance?
Well, I studied business. I graduated in 2005. I started working at Bear Stearns in their prime brokerage department, which is basically in the securities industry. All of our clients were all billionaires, and we had to handle their trades. In 2008, there was a big financial meltdown. I think everybody knows about that. Banks too big to fail. We were the first bank to get saved by the federal government, and then JP Morgan came and bought us out. I stayed in finance. I, became a licensed broker while I was there at Bear Stearns. And from there, I worked at all the top firms in the world. And it's been a journey. I've been interested in finance my whole life. My grandfather worked for Bear Stearns for 30 years, never missed a day of work in 30 years, even had heart attacks on the job and stayed there.
Hey.
You'd think that could be a good excuse not to make it in, but not for him. And so he had me into the Wall Street Journal and things like that since the time I was probably about 6 years old. I was very into finance pretty much my whole life.
Wow. That's big because a lot of people don't teach their kids or their grandkids or whoever about money at that age, except for, like, if you do your chores, you get a certain amount. Like, you're teaching them the essentials of how to earn or get money and spend it, how to make change, things like that. But you're not giving him you go Wall Street Journal, figure it out, get up.
Yeah.
No, I said sit down and read it.
I mean, I was very blessed by my grandfather's teaching. I mean, he taught me, from the time I was 2-3 years old, how to count money. There were no limits. He'd throw a whole bunch of money all over the bed and tell me to count it all, like that. And he did teach me about investments. And even with me learning that from such a young age, by the time I was studying to be a licensed broker, I realized just how much I didn't know. And that let me know how many people in my community don't know. At that point in time, that's when I decided that I was going to make my life's mission to teach my community the importance of investments and the investments that there are. And there's so much more than just stocks and bonds. Stocks and bonds are just a scratch of the surface of what things that are offered in the securities industry.
Right. And those are the things that, like you said, our community might know of, but they don't even know that, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he was like, I gotta wake up early because I'm doing trading. I think it's trading. He's like, it's different than just stocks. He's like, I gotta sell and buy by certain times. So I was like,
he's doing day trading.
there you go. That's what he said. I was like, okay, well, I got some stocks because I know how to do that. But yeah, it's like even that is, he's like, I took a little course, or I, learned a little this here and there, and YouTubed it out, and there's not those things we don't just know. That's not handed down to us. Like, he's doing this on his own, literally on his own. Thank goodness, because whatever children he has in the future, they'll learn. They'll know.
Hopefully they'll
hopefully. Right. I mean, if they don't, hopefully they'll have the money that he earns to make a couple mistakes and then relearn it. Because, once you lose a little money, you be learning how to keep it. Figure out how to keep this money. Because don't nobody want to be broke.
Yeah. No. But yeah, no, day trading is something that you really have to be committed to, and it takes a lot of luck to be able to know when to buy and sell. But even with that, that's just one aspect of the securities industry. More than likely, he's just dealing with stocks, or maybe even ETFs, different things like that. I know I just lost you.
ABC.
Like I said, there's about at least 20 to 30 different types of securities that you can invest in the market, and then within each type of investment, there's different ways that you can make money. You can make money when things are going good. You can make money when things are going not so good. You can make money when things stay the same. It just depends on how you set up your portfolio.
Right. I have a general question. If for the people of our community, is it good to still do these things? Because I would assume that we would need to be making money while we're not doing good, because we don't have the money. Is it still good to try?
Oh yes, definitely. There's never a bad time to make money. I'll just be honest with you.
Hello. When you don't have it, when you have it, it's never a bad time.
It's never a bad time. Never a bad time. But you want to make sure that it's geared to you. So as a financial professional, what we do is we take a look at a person or family and see where they're at, see what their risk tolerance is, what their financial goals are, the time frame of those goals. All of these things matter as to what you're going to be investing in, how you're going to be investing in what you're investing in, right? So you can't, there's not a one size fits all. It's not going to be everybody buys stocks, or everybody buys bonds, or everybody, gets REITs, or no, there is none of that. It's each particular person, family, goals. That's what we do.
All right. So what are some good money tips that can create generational wealth, just for the general person they're the first one. Here I am. I'm the first one in my family who's going to try to create generational wealth. I'm in my late 30s. What's some good tips?
Right. So the first and foremost, I would say, seek a financial professional that you trust. That would be the number one thing, making sure that you have someone that you trust, that works for a reputable company that's been around for a long time, and just be forthcoming with, let them into your finances, let them in so that they can know what would be the best, for your situation. A lot of times people are very surprised to know that a lot of wealthy families use life insurance to build generational wealth. People all the time I hear are very shocked by this. You know Walt Disney, right? Everybody knows Walt Disney. He tried to go to the banks for loans to start Disneyland, and he got turned down by all the banks.
Everybody.
He
Right.
couldn't. He could not get a loan. So what did he do?
Right.
He used the cash value from his life insurance to start Disneyland. Yeah.
Didn't know he did that part.
Yep.
I don't know where I thought he got the money from. I didn't know everybody told him no, but I
Right.
just thought he thugged it out.
Yep.
But he got a job at Burger King, you know? That's what we would do. You know, we would get a second and third job.
Right. Right. But
Wow.
he had life insurance policy, and he had cash value in it, and he used that to start Disneyland. So the most magical place was created from life insurance. But most of the wealthiest families in the world, this is how they've created generational wealth since the 1800s.
That's a good money tip right there. And that can create generational wealth. You have the insurance, and obviously you don't spend it. You can hold on to it and pass it. But if you do need to spend it, is there to create something else that will create generational wealth, whatever it is. Like,
yeah, there's many different ways that you can use life insurance. There's many different types of life insurance, but you want to, like I said, you want to make sure that it's geared to your particular situation and what your goals are. But just as far as the life insurance, pretty much everybody can do that. That everybody has a life to insure, and you think about when I pay my car insurance, there's nothing coming back from that eventually, other than, God forbid, I get into an accident, then that helps me out. With certain types of life insurance, you do receive something in return for that. What a lot of people do, and the wealthy feel like, hey, why use our money when we can use the insurance company's money?
Correct. Correct. That makes sense. Why use my money and I can use yours? That's supposed to be mine later. Like, why? So I had a thought that popped in my mind. Do you know, because Inspire Bigger is about inspiring those who come after us, who need to have the knowledge, but we also need to know what we're up against or where we really are in order to start working through our issues. Do you know, like, for the I don't want to say less fortunate, for the people with less money, less financial fortunate, I guess you would say, people, like, what's the biggest thing that they have to work through that you've seen, like people who you've worked with, from maybe even from the other end, looking from the inside, looking out, like, oh, okay, this is what we missing.
Right.
What's one of the biggest things?
The biggest thing, that I've seen, I'm originally from the Bronx. I go back there to, go to different things in the community. We maybe, doing clothing drives or food drives, different things for the community. And I like to go there with my colleagues. I bring them to the hood, places they've never been before. Make them feel a little uncomfortable, but it's good for them.
Do they feel uncomfortable? I be feeling like they don't.
My colleagues, they do. They've been,
No. Yes. Very uncomfortable. Yes.
Very uncomfortable. People help them to feel uncomfortable.
Clutching their pearls. They making this happen. Oh, well, then that's what happens.
They tell them, like, look, be careful in this neighborhood. You looking the way you look. You need to be careful.
They should have visited Harlem first and then went to the Bronx. This is stages. Come on, dude. You can't do that to them.
Hey, they gotta learn, right? But no, seriously, my goal is to bring this world to the hood. They talk about Wall Street and Main Street. Well, I want to bring it to the hood streets too. Because we all need to learn about financial literacy. This is not something that should only be for the high class and middle class. The low class can learn about this as well and get up out of that lower class status that they have been given. So I do. I have gone, and the main issue that I keep seeing is it's a mentality. The people that I see would rather spend money on Jordans than putting money towards college. They'd rather spend money on things that make them look cool, things that people would think, makes them look like they have money, instead of things that will actually get them money for their future. So a lot of it is a right now mentality over a tomorrow mentality. I have to change that thought process of what I do now will affect my tomorrow. And that's been, to me, the biggest issue in us trying to change mindsets, and a lot of times people think I don't have enough to do anything with it, but yet you're rocking a new, new outfit. And I don't like to use foul language, but there is a saying that I do say all the time, and
it's okay. I'm gonna close my ears.
There you go. There you close your ears. Cover your ears, kiddos. But no, right. I say that if it's on your ass, it's not an asset. And the goal in life is to build assets. That's the thing that we got to change in our community. I came from from the hood, and that's who I'm trying to inspire bigger. Right. Just to change that mindset.
Right. Okay. So the biggest thing that you see is really, it's not even the difference in lifestyle. It's not even, it's really just the mentality. Like, you have to, and a lot of people say, like, you have to think like you're gaining versus thinking like you don't have, but it's not. It sounds so mystical. It sounds so like, ooh, you have to think abundance and then you will have abundance. Like, but really it is like you have to be smart about your purchases. That $50 pair of jeans could actually have been $25. And then that $25 could have gone into your savings. And if you buy 10 pair of jeans, you can buy 10 pair of jeans because you got the $25 pair of jeans. That's one. No, they might not last as long as the $50 jeans. But what's going to happen is you're going to have the money in savings. You're going to be able to invest that into something that's going to create triple, double, whatever, what that was. And now you can buy whatever jeans you like because you have passive income coming in.
Yes. That's exactly it.
So what are some myths? I think you named one just now, like, I don't have enough. But what is, do you have another myth that you find that just needs to be thrown out when it comes to finances and money?
That it's only for the wealthy. That's something that a lot of people think when it comes to the securities industry, that this is only a bunch of rich white men that deal in this world. Yes, they are the majority of who is in it, but that's only because other people just aren't educated to know that they can be involved. If they knew that they could, they would, and it's not only meant for them. You can get into this just at your pace, at your level, just meet you right where you are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you may not be able to afford $1,000 a month, but maybe you can afford $50 a month. And your money will grow at your $50 a month, but your money's still growing. You still have a way to grow. And then your next generation, I can guarantee you, if you have this mindset and you start to do things, they won't be doing just $50 a month. They'll be at maybe $1,000 a month because you've put them in a position where they have more and they have the knowledge and they started early.
And realistically, I think the truth is, like you said, when it comes to the mentality, it is that people don't want to only do it for their next generation. They want to live good too, now.
Yep.
But the sacrifice that it takes to live good now, it might be a little bigger in the beginning, but it'll pan out and be what it needs to be, what it can be. Like I said, I'm in my late 30s, so late 30s, right? And mid, I don't know. I'm almost 40. And I'm trying to venture out on my own entrepreneurial pathway or whatever it is. Do you know if I'm late or not? Or if outside of this, in the other communities, are they this age when they really start things? Or do we have that wrong thinking in our mind, like, oh, it's too late, I just gotta go to work now?
Yeah, I mean, there's never really a time when I would say it's too late. Because you want to get started. That's the main thing, is just getting started. Is there a better time when you're younger? Yeah, of course. You have more time to accumulate funds. You have, it depends on what type of investment you have. You're talking about compounding interest. That time always works on that side, depending on what you're talking about here. But time always is an advantage when it comes to accumulating in any capacity. As far as it being too late, no, I don't think it's ever too late to get started. You may need to do more when you start a little later. Maybe you need more type of investment. Maybe you have staggered goals. Maybe your next goal is a home. Maybe the goal after that is an investment property, and then then the third goal down the line, maybe retirement. you know but it really depends on the individual with that. Some people, they may be, all they're concerned about is retirement right now. They don't really have any goals of accumulating too many assets, and they don't have dreams of being wealthy. Maybe they just want to be comfortable in living out their last days. That's fine. That's their goals. You have to, start wherever they're starting at, and make sure that we are putting in what we need to put in so that they achieve that specific goal. But it is better to start earlier. The earlier you start, the better. And that's why, with my clients, I like to teach, because I want them to teach as well. I want them to take what they've learned and pass it on to their children, to their godchildren, to their nieces and nephews. I want that next generation to have this mentality so that they can get started. Teenagers, learning these things. I want young kids learning these things. I teach my 8-year-old this stuff, so it's very important. You have someone that's going to teach you as well.
And can you really retire comfortably without being wealthy?
Well, yes, it's all about
what is wealthy. What is a bracket of wealthy? What is that number?
I mean, there's no specific number. It really varies depending on what part of the country you're in. But it's really, you think about the cost of living where you're at, and will you be able to be in a place with other people like you, where you have certain assets, where you don't have to worry about groceries. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about any of your purchases. There is nothing that would be too much for you. And you're very comfortable. Now, those are people that we would consider wealthy. We call them high net worth individuals in the industry, and those are usually people that have assets of $1 million or more.
$1 million is wealthy or more, especially if you live in a place like New York. Or you need
New
more
York.
than that?
Yeah, I would say you would need more than that. Like when I worked at Bear, and I was
$1 million a year, you're saying, right?
Yeah, like $1 million is like for example, with us, $1 million was the least you could have in your account. Your account couldn't go below $1 million. And that's just your one account at just our firm, and you more than likely have different accounts at different firms. Those are the high net worth individuals.
Millionaires. Okay, so and why I'm asking that is because I just well, a millionaire. Make sure you don't lose that dollar. Why I'm asking you is because I'm learning a lot about entrepreneurship, right? And what you don't know, you can't use, and what you don't know, you fear that what you don't know, you will, in the place of that, put fear that you can't do it, right? You'll put the word can't in there, or try, or I thought, but all of those things. So that's why I'm asking. I just want it to be something where people don't feel like it's not attainable. I think that wealth is attainable even if you do start off later on in life. Obviously, you'll have less time to enjoy the wealth, but you'll still be able to enjoy it.
Right.
And the more you'll have to pass on to your future, you know, to your children and to your whoever you have in your family who you're going to pass on to. It is possible to attain wealth, and wealth is considered starting at $1 million in some places, you know.
You know, you really want to look at yourself. Some people can consider themselves wealthy and not have $1 million. But it could just be that where they are able to live where they want to live. They're able to eat what they want to eat. They're able to go to the schools that they want to go to. It's really a quality of life thing, right? So if you're comfortable in your life, you're not struggling financially, you have all of the things that you need and most of the things that you want, you may consider yourself wealthy. And someone else may look at you and think, hey, that's a wealthy individual. They have the home that they want. They have, you know, the family that they want. Their family wants for nothing. You know, they have all of the things in place. That could be a wealthy person. That, like I said, it's where you are. Right? You know, my grandparents, I considered them wealthy. At one point in time, they did have a net worth of $1 million, but it was mostly that they had assets. They had different homes. They had rental property. They had their own property. They had properties in different states, and they didn't have to want for anything. You know, they could get whatever they want whenever they wanted, and lived a very comfortable life.
Now that we know we could be wealthy depending on our desired lifestyle, I am going to move on to the next and last segment of my podcast. This has nothing to do with money.
All right.
It has everything to do with who we are, right? So this part of the podcast is called the Introvert Corner, because I am a stark introvert. I know having a podcast may not showcase the introverted part of me, but I am. And I have 3 introspective questions that I ask every guest. Now, the reason why I decided to have this segment is because introverts, though I know you are introverted as well, but I feel like you had some good experiences to base your answers off of that I might not have on my end. So that's why I created it. I wanted the introverts who watch to be able to just learn something new about life that they just know that they're not going to do themselves. Like roller coaster, I'll pass.
Yeah.
Just little things, just a small thing. Scary movie, I'll pass. Halloween mask, I will pass. Don't walk up on me with no monster mask on. I am afraid, okay? I don't like monsters. So, just the smallest things. You know, introverts have a hard time stepping out and making connection with people on a daily basis. Extroverts, I feel like they got that. They got that.
Thrive.
So, all right. So I'm going to ask you these 3 questions, and you just answer it as introspectively as you can. Number 1, what's the best compliment you've ever received?
I think I would have to say that I teach well, that I help people to understand things. That's been the best compliment that I've received. I don't know. I guess it's because I don't know how but I've heard that a lot.
Be patient, and you know what you're saying. So just work. There you go. That's a good answer. I usually try to answer them too with the guests, but I don't know. It's the best compliment, and then at the same time, I hate it. So the best compliment is like you're strong or you're resilient, but I hate it because then people don't look out for you. Like they don't check on you.
Yeah.
If they feel like, oh, she's good, she all right. Like,
yeah.
I'm not. I need a hug. Okay, number 2. What do you most look forward to about getting old?
Honestly, seeing my kids' accomplishments, seeing the things that they're going to do in life. Basically, the only thing I look forward to about getting old, because this other stuff, I can keep that.
Physically, not with it. Don't like it. Knees hurt, back hurt, elbow hurt. Where did that come from? Didn't even touch my elbow in 10 years. Why? Why? My God, why? And when I walk up the steps, I can't breathe, and that's stupid. Okay? Because I need it. Most look forward to about getting old. Not a daggone thing. I don't want to be old. Oh, gray hair. I can't lie. A gray hair. That's the look. I like it.
Really?
I don't know why.
I'm getting a bunch of those.
Yeah. Oh, my friends are getting like, they're like, oh, look at this gray hair patch. Like, I just asked somebody the other day, do you see any gray hair? Like, no, get out my face. Like, okay, sorry. Sorry. That's the best. That's what I most look forward to about getting older. Like getting older.
Until you start seeing them, and then you're like, why can't they come in? For me, it's like I see people. They got the great patch. They got a great streak. They got a great thing here, right? Not me. I got one here, 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 one here.
Take it. Yeah,
they scattered.
I would take it. Man, don't let me. I'll find some white gel and curl that thing. The one gray. Look, you see that gray right there? I don't give a damn. I can't wear it is. Just show. But you know, it's the thing that most people probably maybe would say is like wisdom. But to be very honest, the thing about wisdom is I'm mad that you get smarter as you get older, and then you don't even have the energy to use it. I feel like I have the energy and the words, the thought process to use my wisdom. I wish it was the other way around. I really do. Because when you have the energy and then, you know, to actually use your wisdom, man, we will all be billionaires.
Yeah. Yo. My grandmother says, youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah,
that's what she would always say.
It's true. So that's all I'm looking for is the gray hair, because everything else. What does? Oh, this is the third one. What does the word success mean to you?
Ooh, success to me is joy and just a sense of contentment within oneself. Just feeling no stress, no pressure, just feeling joy in every aspect of your life.
Can I steal your answer? Yeah, I think the word success, that's inner peace, inner contentment, and actually executing on things. Like, I think that a lot of times we think, as long as I'm happy, like, but then you didn't really do nothing with yourself. As long as you're happy, that's cool. But I think success is actually executing on things. And maybe I feel that way because I feel like I have such a hard time executing. Like, it's such a thing. But so yeah, I think it's your answer. And then also,
you know what? I'd add on
finishing with the start.
I'd add on to that too, not only the contentment with yourself, but using that to uplift others. If you can make other people's lives better too, that's success.
Change my answer because it's to aspire big and inspire bigger. Duh. Oh, that's success. Duh.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, D. All right, guys. Well, Daniel, thank you for coming to my podcast. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Me and D go way back.
Way back.
And he's like one of the greatest friends, greatest people. So I'm gonna put your info, your links, all of that stuff down in my YouTube everything situation, and people can reach out to you, because for me, I'm not the most trusting person or easy to trust or whatever, but I wholeheartedly trust Daniel with my finances and helping me learn financial literacy. That's one of my biggest things that I want to have in my life, because I don't have children yet. I'm not married or anything like that, and I want to bring that as an asset to my future family. And I believe that Daniel is the perfect person to do that with for me, and I think that he's good to do that with for all of y'all's. So reach out to him and figure that out with him. And do you have anything else going on?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Very humbled to be here and just to be able to speak to people. And as far as what I have going on right now, it's basically just just trying to help people, trying to help families, trying to help them achieve generational wealth, trying to help them achieve financial stability and financial freedom. That is my goal right now, and it's not gonna stop. It's been my goal since I came into finance, and I'm gonna continue to pursue it.
Well, thank you, and we will be looking for you to teach us some stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Later, y'all.
Okay, bye-bye.